Oh, well, fuck that. Oh, well, fuck that.
Watch inside. Inside. You're clear. Inside. All clear. You're clear. You're clear. One high. Got one high. Still high. You're clear. We're picking up aero damage in the telemetry. Hit if you think it needs repairs.
Oh, what a great start. Oh well, it doesn't matter. 200 lap race. I'm planning on only making about 7 pit stops. The AI will probably make about 10. So that's pretty much 3 laps back. It's all about trying to survive anyway.
One of the boys has fumbled a wheel nut, okay? We'll get this back on the road ASAP.
Oh no, the mechanics are fucked up with a tyre. So I'm already a lap down. No harm, no foul. In fact, I'll be 2 laps down by the time we come back out the pits. So it's just a case of just going around keeping it consistent and trying to get them laps back.
Release and go!
Oh, and the car stalls. What a fucking mare. So no, I won't give up. It's difficult with full damage. All you got to do is just clip the wall, and that's it. Your car's damaged. Then you got to come in the pits and lose a lap or two. I'm 2 laps down, close to being 3 laps down. Hopefully we'll get it back.
That's your best sector 2 time so far today. Great stuff.
Shame it started like this, because in my first season in IndyCar, when I did the 100 lap race, I led the first 40 or 50 before making contact with the wall.
It's always back. You're 2 laps behind.
And now I've got it all to do. 2 laps down apparently. The AI seemed to pit after about, don't know, in a 100 lap race they pitted 4 times, whilst if I got damage 3 I would have pitted just 3, so I can just keep it clean. I should be able to get them 2 laps back. It's not a good start. We'll keep pounding around now.
Just set your own personal best lap. Sit up.
And if we can sort of keep pace with the leaders, at least we'll be, you know, setting decent lap times.
The new personal best. Great job. Strong pace. Great job. Great job. That's your fastest final sector time so far.
So early days, 2 laps down, but I'm setting relatively decent lap times.
Steady, but you'll need to push a bit harder to catch the field. Come on, you can do this.
So I'm hoping the race will come back to me at about half distance. But all we got to do is just keep it clean, keep it smooth. And turning on watching. Yes, I am in Cockpit Cam. So I do use far chase on F1, but on project cars and even Gran Turismo, the only view I use is Cockpit Cam. There's V1Y through 1. No, it's not online, Flair. It's this is the single player career mode. It's my second season in IndyCar. The first season I bombed and finished pretty much last in every race. This season I won at what was the first race? I can't remember what it was, but I won that. I was 9th at Long Beach. I won the Indy GP, and now we're here at the 4th round at the 500, and it's the full race distance.
Fastest first sector you've done yet. Great job.
So if we can keep it clean and consistent and stick with the leaders, that is Joseph Newgarden ahead of us in the lead. And behind us is somehow in second place Max Chilton. It'll be interesting to see when they pit, because then we can sort of judge what their fuel window and tyre window is. We can do 25 laps. Ooh, turn 1, that was tricky. Per fuel window, which is essentially 7 pit stops, because I pitted at the end of 1. So if these guys pit at, let's say, before 20 laps, they'll be looking at 10 pit stops. Pit stop, a lap, and 2 laps down. So could, in theory, be a lap ahead of everyone by the end. But that is in theory, and we've still got a long way to go. I'd like to win it at full race distance. It is a trophy on the project cars to win a full Indy 500 distance. Couple of questions. Why am I last? I'm last because at the end of towards the end of lap 1, I was running at about 18th or 19th, I think it was, and someone slammed on the brakes in front of me, and I literally just tapped the rear of them and full damage on. Yeah, ripped off my front wing, so I managed to get in the pits. Hinchcliffe had damage as well. He's 24th and a lap down, and the damage for me unfortunately put me 2 laps down. So I've got it all to do. But the last 12 odd laps have gone instant free, and in fact we're actually gaining on Newgarden here at this point.
Great first sector. That's your best so far.
And apparently Fear is better than me, but you know, at least I managed to actually, you know, complete 1 lap. We are gaining here on Newgarden. The fact that Max Chilton is in second place is confirmed the game is broken. We are massively gaining on Newgarden here. Now we're in his toe. Sneaky unlap. If I get a chance I will go for it.
That's the fastest sector time.
I don't know whether just chill behind Newgarden or actually try to unlap myself. Oh, a little bit of contact there, the outside wall, that wouldn't have helped. Am I on a wheel? No, I'm still on my trusty pad. Although I am looking to invest in a wheel in the next couple of months. Proper seat and pedal setup. Right, some drivers in the pits. Look like Castro Neves is in the pits for whatever reason. That's an early stop, so we'll get a lap back on him. Oh, well, that's a different line for New Garden, and that's killed my momentum through 3 and 4. Can you fuckers pit?
That was a string of good laps. We just need to pick up the pace a little bit to catch the cars in front.
Tyre's starting to go off a little bit. Oh, New Garden, you fucker. Right, so leaders and most of the field look like they're pitting before lap 20, which is a good sign, which means they're probably going to be pitting at least 10 times. We can do it in 8. I hope. So we should be able to get a lap back on most of these people now. But our pace is falling because the tyres are starting to go off, I think. I'm up to 24th, we've overtaken Hinchcliffe. I'm not last. Don't move over on me. I think that might be Max Chilton actually. No, someone else. Munoz.
Flag, let him through. 2 lanes back. Great overtake.
So we are now on the lead lap, although we will be pitting probably in about 5 or 6 laps.
1 lane back. 2 lanes behind. Outside. You're clear. Crashing behind. Watch your mirrors. Car outside. Clear. See 2 lanes back.
Hair raising stuff. Up to 23rd, dizzying heights of 23rd. Record of a timing on the top left. I'm 56 seconds behind the leader, which is just over a lap. So we've only managed to get 1 lap back, and we'll probably go 2 laps down again when we stop. But once this race, you know, continues to develop and evolve in the later stages, these guys will be pitting more often than me.
Blue flag. You've got faster car approach. Keep that in mind. Fastest second sector. Great driving.
What sort of insanity made you do the Indy 500 on a pad? I don't know, my friend. I'm very drunk right now.
Fastest lap of the race. Good job.
And I'm not trying to get a lap back on Juan. That close to turn Juan. We've still got decent pace, although the front right is beyond fucked. If we can get to lap 30, it means we've got decent fuel mileage, because we pitted at the end of lap 1 for a full tank of fuel, and the setup said that 70 litres would take me 26 laps. But that front right, I don't know if you get punches on this game, to be honest. But I'm quite happy to chill behind Montoya, actually.
Pace is matching the leaders. Good job. Keep it up.
But I don't know if that front right gets to, you can see there's like hardly any grip left in it. If it goes to no grip, I don't know, do we get a puncture or does something happen? And yeah, we're going to go for it real quick of him at this stage.
Blue flag. Let them pass. Don't lose any time over this. Two lengths back.
If anyone watching can confirm if I'll get a puncture or not once the front right is completely colourless, that makes sense, would be helpful. So I've got about 2 laps to make a decision on whether I'm going to pit or not.
Drastic jump. Half length behind. He's in your slipstream. 1 length behind. Still 1 length back. 1 in your slipstream. 1 length back. Half length back.
Oh, Montoya, really? You're going to try and overtake me going into 4? You fool! Colombian fool. Well, I'm flat now through the whole circuit. I have to lift sometimes into 1 and 3 because of the heavy fuel load, but now we've burnt off most of our fuel. I'm pretty much just jamming my thumb down now on the analog. If I can get to lap 30, that's quite good fuel mileage actually. Just under 10 litres worth of fuel, so I'll probably be pitting at the end of the next lap. I'm a bit worried about that front right. So that goes bang, we will be in a wall and it will be race over. Going to do 1 more lap, then pit at the end of lap 30, which would be I think 28 or 29 laps. And we still had a couple of more laps worth in reserve of the fuel as well, so we might be able to stretch this to just doing 6 stops here. Front right is now beyond fucked actually. There's a sliver of green just left in that column. So we're going to stop now. We've got to get this right. Not bad actually. Bang on the money. 30 laps done. We'll now fall 2 laps down again. Here we go.
Okay, mate, all clear.
Ah,
Go,
damn it.
Go, go.
Oh, I hate the manual controls. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Right, probably lost about fucking 5 or 6 seconds in that stop. Oh, it's annoying. Manual clutch. Everything's all manual. So I think we're 2, 3 laps down possibly now. Like I said, this race it will come to us. That was a clean first stint, really. Gonna come out behind an absolute train of cars. That's fine if I can catch up and get on their toe. At least we can keep setting 41s and 42s rather than setting 43-second laps.
You're 3 laps behind the leader. Blue flag, let him pass when it's safe. Two lengths behind. Behind.
You're gonna go, Castaneva's going out.
Half length back. Inside. He's clear.
So I'll follow you. Save some fuel. Oh, fucker. Hate that. Absolutely hate that.
You're super consistent. Now just try and string together a few faster laps to catch the cars in front.
I'll tell you something that isn't helpful. On lap 35 of 200, I need to go for a piss. And I'm buggered if I'm going to piss myself live on YouTube, so I might have to actually pause it in a second. I might be able to get to my next pit stop and then do it then. Don't really want to pause it on track. If this was real life, I'd just piss myself in the race seat. Wouldn't bother me. Done it before. But when you're sitting in your living room doing this, you don't really want to piss in the carpet. Right, more cars in the pits then for their second round of pit stops. You've only just made, well, let's say, our legit first pit stop, so we might be able to gain a couple of more positions here. Currently 3 laps down on the leaders, but that will almost certainly come down to 2, maybe 1. So like I keep saying, as long as we keep it clean, this race will come back to us. Just got to keep it clean with full damage at this speed. Well, you see what the real Indy is like. All you got to do is just clip the wall and that's it, your car's destroyed. If it happens here, then we will be bang out of contention. Still legit think we can win this. More cars in the pit lane. One of them is Bourdais, who we're going to pass, and Hinchcliffe as well, actually. He was leading, I think, earlier. No, it was Newgarden, wasn't he? I do apologise. So we're back up to 23rd. Carlos Munoz in 22nd is a lap ahead of us, I believe. So Bourdais and Hinchcliffe have had problems in this race like us and find themselves several laps down. Whoever that is pitting. Now there's a car going slowly up here as well on the inside. Not too sure who that is. Oh, he's going very slow. We're going to have to go on the outside here. Oh, ow, bloody hell. Too sure who that was. Newgarden apparently? Oh, I don't believe it was him. Oh, another car going slowly up here. You know, these cars might have damage. Like I said, full damage just doesn't affect me, it affects the AI as well. And I've got it on 100% aggression for the AI, so they're just as fuck-witted with me as they are with each other. And you know, drivers will pick up damage in this race, which will help us, because then they'll have to make lengthy pit stops to fix the damage like we did at the end of 1. So hopefully if that continues, then we'll make some more positions up. But we're chilling at the moment in 23rd, which is where we were before our first pit stop. But if we can get these tyres to lap 60, then these guys might be pitting again around about that time, because they seem to be pitting, their window seems to be lap 18 to 21, ours seems to be anywhere from about 28 to 31. So I think every 2 stops we make, they'll be making 3. So we might all very well in the next 10 laps or so be pitting at the same time, or 15 laps I should say. Oh, we passed someone, we're up to 22nd, not too sure who that was. feel comfortable at the moment. Seem to be quite consistent with my lines and my lap times as well. Actually, no, the lap times are all over the place, aren't they?
Coming up on a back marker. We don't need any drama here, so keep it focused, keep it safe.
So then we're in 22nd, 1 minute 4 behind the race leader, who is now Max Chilton. And we're 16 seconds ahead of Hinchcliffe behind us in 23rd, so we're not going to be doing any overtakes on track for a while. It's all going to be about the pit stops and the fuel strategies for some of these guys. They've all now made 2 pit stops. I've technically made 2, but only 1 on strategy. And we're now a lap and a half behind rather than 2. So we're creeping slowly back up there. Over half a tank of fuel, and we stopped I think at the end of lap 30. We're now on 45, so the way it's looking at the moment, we can probably push this car fuel wise 30 laps, but tyre wise probably only about 28, maybe 29. So I'm still trying to work out in my head how many pit stops we've got left to go. If we aim for lap 60 for our second stop, 90 for our third, and then 120, 150, 180, we can do this on 6 stops, whilst I think everyone else is pretty much looking at 8, maybe 9. And you essentially lose a lap here in the pits. So 3 less pit stops, 2.5 laps down. We could in theory be half a lap ahead towards the end of the race, but you know, we're not even at quarter distance yet, so no point worrying about it just yet. All we've got to do is just keep it clean, keep it consistent, and hope for a little bit of luck. Now flat in all 4 corners. We've burnt off enough fuel. Sometimes I do have to do a little lift into 1 and then a slightly bigger lift into 3. That's one corner I don't like. All the other corners I'm pretty comfortable with, but 3 does catch me out. Easy flat now. Coming up to lap 50. If we can get to 60, that'd be pretty good. Catching these guys ahead of us. Alexander Rossi, Connor Daly, Hildebrand as well. They're 17th, 18th, 19th. A lap ahead of me. Oh, just brushed the wall there. Done a little bit of damage to the front wing. That won't be too good. That'll probably be fixed in the pit lane, which will lose us more time. Just like that, a little bit of lack of concentration. We just got away with that. Just a little bit of damage, which won't affect the car that much, to be honest. Got to change that to 4th gear there, not too sure what that's about. Maybe it's the tyres starting to go off. Now onto our 20th lap on this stint. It's usually when the AI pit. We're trying to push it to lap 30. We can, I think, on the fuel, just. But I don't think the tyres will be able to do it. I think if my maths are correct, if we pit every 28th lap we'll still be able to do this on 6 stops.
Nice pace. Just try and pick it up a little bit. You're very consistent. Now you can just dig out a few extra tenths of a second.
The tyres are now starting to go. We've just done a 43.8 and 2 laps ago he's doing a 41.8. But I'd rather go for an extra 10 laps and lose a total of, let's say, 20 seconds than pit at the same time as the AI and not make any progress, because, you know, every extra 10 laps we lose 20 seconds, but then we gain that back and then some more by having to pit less. That's my theory anyway. There's method in the madness. You know, 44.0 that time by, so over 2 seconds off our pace now. Might just keep it in 4th gear, burn up a bit of extra fuel. It seemed to help. 42.5 that time by. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a decent setup. This is pretty much the default setup with a few little tweaks in it that I've managed to do myself. But yeah, I know there's people out there that can, you know, in time trial I think I can set a 43.1 or something like that. I know there's people out there that do like 40-second lap times. So yeah, there's definitely a few sweaty setups out there. But I haven't got the time. More pit stops happening. So already then some of the field are onto their 3rd pit stop. We're coming up to our 2nd. If you take away the one that we had to do at the start.
That was a great move.
That was a great move, says my engineer, as we overtake a car coming out of the pit lane. Okay. Coming up to lap 60 soon, which will be our window Constantly have to keep changing between 4th and 5th gear in the corners. We're losing a bit of speed with these used tyres now. Okay, front right's pretty much had it. We cracked the top 20, possibly 19th as well over Macau Ocean. We have, so up to 19th then, so you see we're slowly starting to creep up the order. Meanwhile we have 2 litres worth of fuel, and me looking at that means I've just lost concentration. So yeah, we're pitting then, we're pitting now, no fuel left. And before we make a pit stop, I am going to pause the game and make a personal pit stop for myself. Right, and we are back. I do apologise for that, but needs must. Good opportunity to have a look at the race order actually as we're coming into the pits. Max Chilton leads, I don't know how. And there's your top 10 all in lap 60. And where are we? We're there, 2 laps down at the moment, or 1 and a bit. Beyond we've got Marco Andretti, Sebastian Bourdais, Carlos Munoz, who's a lap down to us, and James Hinchcliffe as well. If I was out there then I've had problems. But we won't worry about them, and we'll just focus on ourselves as we come into our pit box for what will be our second proper pit stop.
All clear to go.
Oh, damn it. Right, it should go now, come on. I have no idea. Sometimes I can get away pretty much bang on using the clutch, but for whatever reason, sometimes it just doesn't want to know. And I've probably lost another 4 or 5 seconds there in the pits. Thoughts on the F1 leaks? I assume you're on about the beta pictures and videos. I have seen quite a few. I've had a couple sent to me as well. Yeah, graphics not on point really, but you know, as I pointed out to a few other people, this is just, you know, the first stage. You've got to remember at the beginning of F1 2017, we didn't even have liveries on the car, and the cars themselves looked absolutely shit. So the game is more advanced already than it was last year. Steering wheel's up for debate as well. A few people have said that looks a bit weird. But I quite like the fact that we've got ERS in there now with the whole deployment and harvesting, and it's essentially the way I look at it as basically an old school curse system, but this time you choose when you want to use it and obviously how powerful as well. So time will tell, we'll just have to wait to see, as we've got a car up inside trying to lap me. Or pass me actually, that was Hinchcliffe passing me there. So yeah, the beta is too early to say really. But graphics not on point, but I'm not worried about that.
Blue flag, blue flag. That was a great pass, fantastic. You're 3 laps down on the leader.
Well, I think someone just, I think he just tried to overtake me there and just tagged me a little bit, not too sure. So Canada's in the pits from the lead, so I'll be getting a lap back from all of these people. Apparently I'm 3 laps down. I'm not. I'm possibly 2, maybe less than 2 once this particular pit stop cycle finishes. So we should be back in again, as long as it stays instant free for us, around about between lap 88 and 90. These guys should be in the lap early 80s, something like that. So that will then start to give us an indication of where we really are in the order, as all these guys will be making their next pit stop before us. So again, it's all about just keeping it clean.
Those blue flags are for you, let them through.
Fuck the blue flags, I don't care if it's Max Chilton behind me. Do I think the amount of leaked footage exceeds last year? From a personal point of view, I haven't seen more this year already than what I saw last year. Having said that, I didn't really need to see it because I had a beta code myself. I haven't seen a lot this year. I've just seen enough to make a judgment, an early judgment, which is a bit unfair. Obviously, we have to wait to see until we see more. But whether there's been more or less than the previous couple of years, there's always going to be leaks. Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. Obviously, Codemasters have their favourite people, the likes of Alva, Tia McMurdoch, and obviously some of the AOR guys as well probably get a look in every year without even asking. It comes down to the random people, usually the 16-year-olds, that beg and beg and beg for a beta, get it, and then they want views on YouTube or want to be popular and leak stuff, and it's always going to happen. And we just have to, well, thank them really, because without it, we don't know shit. We don't see anything unless Codemasters release it themselves. And to be honest, during the beta stages, they release nothing. So, to be honest, I'm grateful for the leaks, because without it, we don't know what's going on. Oh, I was close to the wall there, fucking hell. My engine's up to 12 damage, 12% damage, which is a bit worrying, because I've selected that the engine does not get fixed in a pit stop, because otherwise I would lose probably 5 or 6 seconds having it fixed every time I'm in. So at this rate it's probably going to be around about the 35% mark at the end of the race, which is possibly why I'm losing a bit of speed every now and again. We're running in 23rd, and I've just taken that flat for the first time in this stint, so it's taken me 6 laps. to take turn 3 flat. So yeah, we're 23rd out of 25. We're now a lap and 2/3 down on the leaders, but they're all going to be in again before we are. Oh, turn 1, which will then take me to basically being on the lead lap. And then at that point, we just continue to focus on what we're doing, and slowly creep up. For example, that's Max Chilton behind me. You can see in the bottom left there the positions. James Hinchcliffe is ahead of me on track. If they're in red, it means they're ahead of me, you know, laps ahead of me. If they're blue, it means they're behind me, at least a lap behind me. And if they're white, like my own name, it means they're on the same lap as me. So Hinchcliffe is legitimately 1.6 seconds ahead of me, and ahead of him by 8 seconds is Carlos Munoz, who is a lap down to me already. And then behind me by 0.6 of a second is Max Chilton, who is leading. So if he gets past me, we go 2 laps down. But we've made 2 pit stops, and so have they since my opening pit stop at the end of lap 1. But now it'll change over. They'll make their 3rd before me. But they're essentially, their pit stop cycle is around about 20 laps. Mine is around about 30, so I'm making 2 pit stops to their 3. So turn 1 and turn 2, easy flat. And we're gaining a few temps on Hinchcliffe as well. Turn 3, yeah, easy flat. We're over 1/3 distance. That's taken a while. Oh, where am I going? Just a second behind Hinchcliffe now. If we can get to within about 7 temps, we'll be in his slipstream. He can pull us along quite nicely.
Come on, this guy's just in our way. Big push now, let's fight our way past.
I think I'm starting to gain a little bit from him, down to 8 temps, 7 temps, so we are catching. We are now in the slipstream of Hinchcliffe. Oh yeah, very much so. I can just feel the car picking up speed. If we get a good one out of 2, we might be able to slingshot past into 3.
That's the best sector 1 time of anyone so far. Great job.
No, we'll have to wait until 1. Not close enough. Oh, made contact with him. Do apologise for that.
You're clear.
Well, I judged it.
2 lanes back.
So added any damage? Yeah, 2% to the the front wing, which is annoying. And Hinchcliffe is coming back at us. He can fuck off. Well, I've just lost a shit ton of speed going through 1 and 2. Might be the sign that the tyres are already starting to give up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's it. We're back down to 4th gear for most of this then. I'm only halfway through our stint as well. That's early for the tyres to really start giving up. Thoughts on if the PS4 community is faster than the Xbox community? Time trial, lap time say different. I'm not too sure if what it is like this year, but I'm pretty sure that in previous games, the Xbox time trial times, legit ones anyway, were like a second plus over PS4. But I'm not too sure if that's got anything to do with the game mechanics or anything like that, being different consoles. If Xbox are better than PS4, I don't know. There's quick drivers on both, don't get me wrong. Right, some more of our darlings are in the pits lane. So I'm getting laps back on some of these guys now. Like I said, they were pitting around about the lap 80 mark, but some of them are in a bit earlier. Still in 22nd. The Majestic Flame. Oh, reading that question whilst turning into a corner probably isn't a good idea. I'll read that question when I'm on the straight, so I don't kill myself. Majestic Flame said, should I get this game? Yeah, it's not bad actually. If you like your simulation racing games, it's more realistic than other games, predominantly F1. Like it takes a while to get used to the handling and the characteristics of all the cars. It is really unforgiving. You have to be, you know, for example, around here, this circuit, you have to be so smooth with your steering. You can't just point and squirt and do what you do on maybe other games. On this one, you really have to take care. And it's quite fun as well. The career mode is the same as Project Cars. The first one, you start off in like karts or Formula Rookie, which is essentially Formula Ford. And then, you know, as long as you do well in the championships, you can go up to the higher tiers. And I'm in tier 1 at the moment. I've worked from 6 to 1, and I'm in I'm in the Indy cars. But you've also got like the prototypes, GT3, GT4. You've got Rallycross on this, which I think wasn't on Project Cars before. The World Touring cars, and there's loads of different game modes. Online is quite competitive as well, and it's not as dirty as it is on other racing games. Project Cars Online is a bit like Gran Turismo. Everyone does sort of respect everyone else, whilst the likes of the F1 games, the online lobbies, it's basically a crash fest. So yeah, if you like your racing games and you like your realistic racing games, then yeah, I'd get a bit of money and get this game.
May need to start defending from the guy behind. Not too far back, might make a move. He's 2 lengths back. Still 2 lengths back.
Well, I've got Marco Andretti, who's just made a pit stop. He's up the inside into one.
Rear corner.
I'm going to have to let him go. Oh no, he's backed out. Pussy. So we remain in 21st. This is the highest I've been since our lap 1 incident. And this is Hildebrand ahead of me coming out the pit lane. So we're up to 20 if we crack the top 20 again. And we'll be out longer this time before we make another pit stop. 19 litres left. But the front right, holy hell, is dying on me a little bit. So I don't know if we can get to the lap 90 benchmark. We might be looking about lap 84, which is slightly annoying actually, but there we go. Still a long way to go. Up to 17th now, so there we go. By going longer on each stint, we're slowly creeping back up the order. Although we will tumble back down once we make our pit stop soon. Blair says apparently now we are faster than them, but they're blaming on the game. Right, well, you know, they've always got something to moan about, haven't they, really? You know, for the last few years there's been a debate about which is quicker, pad or wheel. This game it seems to be wheel is quicker everywhere apart from when it's heavy rain, and then the pad is quicker. So if we are now legitimately quicker than Xbox users and they're not happy about it, well, buy a PlayStation.
That was a sweet move. Great stuff.
And the Majestic Flame says, I love your personality, thank you very much. And does it get boring? Depends what you're on about. If you're on about the career modes, no, not really. Because there's so many different types. You know, you can do rallycross, you can do tin tops, you can do open wheelers, you can do Le Mans, you can do single seaters, you can do pretty much any type of motorsport discipline is in this game. So it is quite varied rather than playing, let's say, Formula 1 or WRC, where it's basically the same sort of cars all the time. And if you're on about the Indy 500, the race I'm currently doing, does it get boring? No, because I'm on a strategy that will see me slowly creep back up the order. As you can see, we're now up to 14th in this next pit stop window, and as long as I keep it clean, we will continue to creep up. So yeah, still a lot to come, and I'm still very much enjoying it. And the fact I haven't actually put it in a wall yet since, well, at all. I haven't actually, you know, it wasn't my fault I crashed on lap 1. You can blame the geezer ahead of me for brake checking. And the leaders are in the pits. I'm now legitimately on the lead lap. Get the fireworks out. Caution is needed, Flair, but we don't have it on this game. I've looked in the rules. I'm pretty sure I've got full penalty stuff on. Like if I overtook someone before the start of the race, it would have given me a penalty. If you speed into the pit lane a bit too much, you get disqualified. So I don't think full course cautions are on this game for IndyCar, which is a shame because that would bring me right back into it. And I think we'll be probably pitting in 2 laps time. I don't think I'm going to get to lap 90. So I might have to adjust strategies as this race goes on. Because after this I do want to just make 3 more stops, and if we've got to stop a couple of laps early, I might be looking at lap 88 and then possibly 116 and then maybe 142 and then maybe bang on 172, maybe 170, and then try and nurse it to the end. So that'd be 4 stops, wouldn't it? It's been a long race already. We'll just keep going round. We're up to 13th at the moment, although it is Alexander Rossi, I believe, behind me. You know, it's Marco Andretti. But we're slowly creeping back up there. But I think we'll be in possibly at the end of, well, we're definitely looking at our fuel at the end of next lap. So we're pitting at the end of 88. I wanted to get to 90. Excuse me. 4 litres in a lap. Yeah, I think it's 3 litres you can do, or 2.5 to 3. Should be coming in then for another pit stop at the end of lap 88. Almost a half distance.
Pretty low on fuel. Come into the pits and we'll top you up.
Not bad. So it'll be interesting to see where we rejoin after this. So the fuel's done.
All clear.
And it's stalled again on me. It's so annoying. Maybe I've just got to absolutely fucking gun it every time I come out the pits. I don't know. But it looks like we're back in 21st. Make that 22nd because Alex Tagliani's just got past me. So we're slowly creeping up there. These guys I think will probably be in around the lap 100 mark. At some point we will cross over and they'll make 2 pit stops in one of my stints, and that's essentially a lap back. So out the pit lane. Back out on circuit, 23rd.
Blue flag, here come the race leaders. Let them through. 2 race back.
Oh, we've just clipped the wall and we've damaged our front wing. Ah, bollocks.
Looking at the screens, it looks like you've got some aero damage there.
Oh, that could be the charge over. Oh, such a knobby mistake to make. That could be it over. Oh, that's such a shame. Done 88 laps. Absolutely bang on. Slowly creeping up the order. I've just clipped the wall on the exit of 3. And we're going to be in the pits for quite a while now, unfortunately.
The wheel nut. Okay, it's taking a bit longer than we expected. Just hold station. We'll be out in a minute.
Time for a restart. I am not restarting this. No bloody way. I've been at it for an hour. Oh, this is disappointing though.
All done. Off you go.
Oh, again stalled. I don't know what I'm doing right or wrong there. Sometimes I can get out of the box, but so far in this race, having up to do it. Right, we're rejoining. Oh, what are we? Bloody hell, 5 laps down, I think now. Okay, so now it's this damage limitation. See if we can not finish last. We're almost a minute and a half plus behind the guy in 24th. 4 laps down, apparently. I need some of these guys to start crashing into each other. Disappointing.
Blue flag, don't hold them up, it'll just cost us time.
So I think the win's at the question now, being 4 laps down. fact, I guarantee that the win is out of the question. I'm annoyed at myself for that. Literally just ran wide just a little bit. Like I said earlier, just the slightest bit of contact can rip off that wing, and it's done exactly that. So now I need the AI to go full retard with each other and start causing crashes. We're coming up to half distance, and this is literally now just a case of just circulating around and hoping for a lot of luck. Shame though, because I've won 2 races and finished 9th in another one. And we are leading the championship by about 25 to 30 points, and I believe the Indy 500 is double points, so a good result here would have been nice. The way it's going at the moment, we'll probably lose the championship lead. You've still got an opportunity to finish ahead of Munoz, Hinchcliffe and Bourdais as well, because they've had problems and they're a couple of laps down.
Brilliant overtake. Nice one.
I just don't want to finish last.
Great job out there. Great move.
Great move. I'm still last. How was that a great move? The engine's a little down on power as well, 19%, and we're coming up to half distance. Some slow cars ahead of me here. Round the outside, round the outside.
Blue flag, better let them through. Nice overtaking, great work. One inside. You're clear. One lane back. Watch your mirrors. One lane back. Two lanes behind.
Oh, I might as well have a bit of fun overtaking some of these people.
Outside. You're clear.
Ruin those mistakes, we'd be in the lead by now.
Nice move.
More drivers in the pits.
That was a string
Seems
of
every
good
lap
laps.
there's someone in there.
Need to pick up the pace a little bit to catch the cars in front.
Down on power like a true Honda. Yep, I'm expecting it to blow any second. Over half distance now, that 102. More drivers in the pits, including the race leader. Just a lap back. Catching Ryan Hunter ahead of us though by about 3 or 4 tenths a lap. He is a couple laps down in 20th though. It was Carlos Munoz in 24th and we're worried about. We was 8 seconds down a few laps ago, now it's down to just 5.
One outside. Blue flag, let him through. That's the best sector time of anyone so far. Great job. Keep it up. Car inside.
Moving around Montoya.
Brilliant.
So we've got a good pace. We're catching Munoz as well. Gap's now down to 2.7. So we are catching, but we're also due a pit stop probably in 3 laps. We've set some very quick lap times recently. The gap between ourselves and Munoz is now just over a second, 1.2. So less than a second, 0.8. On to 24th as well because Hinchcliffe's made a pit stop. Half a second now between ourselves and Munoz. Might get a good run in him out of 4. Get past him into 1.
One outside. Still outside. You're clear.
Move completed.
2 lengths back. Okay, we've got some pressure coming from behind. Start thinking about the fence.
Doesn't been a bad stint this actually, it's been a really good stint. We've actually been really quick. Up to 23rd now. I'm 17 out of 200 and we're probably going to be pitting at the end of next lap, which will be 118, and then I'll be aiming for about lap 144, and then maybe 172. So hopefully just 2 more stops after this. The win is out of the question, but I'm still hopeful we can beat a handful of drivers who've had problems just like us.
Great work, great move.
I mean, in the last 10 laps I've brought an 8-second deficit down to Carlos Munoz, passed him into 1, and now we're just a second ahead of him. But we're going to be pitting now, so hopefully it doesn't cream into the back of us.
You're low on fuel.
Here we come. Oh, I've steamed right into that pit lane there. Penalised for speeding in pit lane. Oh, I cannot get any luck. That'll be a drive through. Oh, 10 seconds added to our time. Oh, absolutely fucking aces. Well, I need a drink, so I'll be right back.
All done. Off you go.
Oh, I love this. There we go. Oh, hello. Right ahead of you. Oh, don't run them over. Right. So, I've now got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But I think I only have to make 2 more pit stops. Not that it matters. But I'm literally fighting Ryan Hunter-Reay. Is that Ryan Hunter-Reay behind me? If it is, I'm nearly a lap down to the next guy. Yep, okay. So Hinchcliffe's just passed me, so I'm in a direct battle with Hinchcliffe to not be last. And Ryan Hunter-Reay, who is 2 positions ahead of me on circuit, is behind me coming out the pit lane. So yeah, I need the AI to start crashing into each other, please. Oh wow, we got away with that.
4 laps down on the leader. Blue flag, blue flag. 1 length behind. He's inside. He's clear.
Can't be understeer. Car doesn't feel great initially. Hopefully once we burn off a bit of fuel we can get a little quicker. Cool, that was low. Oh, and that's what happens. If I come out of this race not last, I'll be, well, annoyed, but I won't hang myself. I'm pretty sure that Munoz and Hinchcliffe are beatable, and possibly Ryan Hunter-Reay as well, but at 10-second over me is going to hurt me. Need to get ahead of him really.
Outside. Blue flag, let him pass. Watch your mirrors. 1 in your slipstream. 1 length back. 2 lengths behind.
Oh, we've got slow cars up here. Oh, thread the needle. There we are, Montoya. We're going to unlap ourselves to Montoya.
Watch outside. You're clear.
Oh, back end, Jesus. Oh. Car's balance has changed the last couple of laps. Up to 23rd, we passed Sato. That might have been the, in fact that was the 14 AJ Foyt car that was going slowly and I had to go around on the high side. So he's, oh that was close, in the pits for damage. So up to 23rd, Hinchcliffe is 2 seconds ahead of us. And I am fighting him for position. That 10-second penalty that will be added on. Looms large on the left hand side. It is annoying. We're going to keep pushing though.
You're about the lap back marker. Don't lose any time.
Seems to help. Changing down to fourth, coming out of 1 and then 3. We seem to be gaining almost a second a lap by doing that. Gap between ourselves and Hinchcliffe, who's the second car ahead of me, is now 1.2. Munoz behind us in 24th is in the pit. So the same this time round.
Great stuff. You're faster than anybody in the second sector. Car outside. They're giving you the blue flag. Let them pass. Keep your race back. 1 length behind.
That was hairy. Now we're up behind Hinchcliffe. Get him down into 3.
Got 1 high.
It's just for 20 seconds.
You're clear.
Now we're up behind Gabby Chavez, who is 19th. And that's a lap back from him. And I think I've just got a notification up there on the right hand side saying that my internet is a little down on power, if you like. So if the live stream has got a bit blurry or a bit, yeah, it looks like you're watching on the potato, well, I do apologise. But you should be able to see the basics at least, and hopefully it will pick up strength soon. Meanwhile, we're probably one of the quickest cars on circuit at the moment. We're now over a second ahead of Hinchcliffe. Next car we're coming up to is the 17th placed Alex Tagliani. Just over half a tank of fuel.
Great driving. That's the fastest final sector so far.
And Hinchcliffe from 23rd pits. Now I'll put a lap, get a lap back from Tagliani.
Those blue flags are for you. Let them through.
Oh, the car.
Great stuff. Fastest lap of the race. Great pass.
Now we're up behind Connor Daly. who is running in 10th place.
The outside. Blue flag, don't race these ones, let them through.
I seem to have decent pace on this stint.
Brilliant final sector. That's the fastest so far.
Hopefully stretches fuel to maybe 145. More drivers in the pits.
Nice overtake there, very smooth.
We've got Sebastian Bourdais just a few seconds up the road. You get him is 3.3 seconds.
Let's take the pace up a little bit now, mate. You're putting in some consistent time, but we need to push now.
Catching these guys ahead of us very quickly. Managed to get ahead of someone else as well, up to 20th again.
Hard on the pressure, come on, keep at him. You're going to get past him.
And there is Bourdais. So we get past him, we'll be in 19th. But we have got a pit stop to make in about 5 laps. I'm going to be brave into one.
One outside.
Oh, we made contact.
You're clear.
I think that's Graham Rahal as well. We've just overtaken, so all of a sudden we're up to 17th. Bit of damage on the front, and the engine's now at 30% wear, which is not great. Just got to keep pushing it. 2 pit stops left to go for us. Well, now less than 2 laps down on the leaders apparently. Should go some way to explaining how we're in 15th place. Wow, that was close. These guys are slowing. I've got to go around the outside.
That was a sweet move, great stuff.
We are now massively down on power.
Careful the guy behind us, try and make it pass. Think about defending.
Might just need to keep it in 4th gear from now on. Made a mistake there, and Graham Rahal was possibly about to come through.
2 lengths behind. 1 length back. Got 1 low.
Right, leave X out of it. And the left front, or right front I should say, has pretty much given up, so we're going to come in then for our last but one stop. Is there a way I can fix the... No, just looking to see if I can actually fix the engine at this point, and I can't, so we'll just have to run with it. We were pitting in then from, I think, 13th or 14th it was.
Okay, mate, away you
Oh, here we go. Every time. You have to use your D-pad, says Karting Legend, to go on race strategy. I think if I go on a D-pad, all it does to me is the anti-roll bars and the brake bias. That's the way I've set it up. Nevertheless, I did actually put engine and gearbox damage to be fixed off, because I didn't want to lose time in every pit stop. But it doesn't matter, we're out in 22nd, possibly 23rd. Indeed it is 23rd. 1 pit stop to go. These guys will need to make at least 2, possibly 3. So, unbelievably, it's not all over yet for a decent result. We're up to 22nd, Hinchcliffe back in the pits.
You're 2 laps behind the leader.
2 laps down, when about 40 or 50 laps ago it was 4 laps. And these guys have to make at least 1 more. Oh wow, I've just hit the wall. And that is it. That is us getting any decent result over. I've ripped off the rear of the car and I've damaged the rear suspension. So that is it. Oh man, just when it was starting to look a bit more promising. Again, we've come out the pits, and within a couple of laps we're back in again, and that is going to be us pretty much at the back now. We're going to be in the pits for quite a while here. I hate myself. Oh, and I've managed to stop short as well. That just sums us up really, doesn't it? How long is it going to take to repair this car? Oh, quite a while.
Go, go, go!
Ah, so disappointing. All of a sudden it was starting to look a bit decent again. But this is pretty much going to be us. Any sort of decent result now over. In fact, the last Munoz has just passed us. Don't know how many laps down we are. Probably 5 now. Such a shame.
Blue flag, let him pass when it's safe.
We will keep going though. I'm determined to not finish last.
Nice move.
We won't hear too much from me now in the last 50 laps. I'm at the stage now and I kinda want this race done. You know, at the end of lap 1 we were, well, when we came back at the pits after our lap 1 problem, we were 2 laps down, and then we managed to get onto the lead lap before I put it in the wall after a pit stop around about the lap 80 mark. That put me to 3 laps down, got to 2 laps down again a few laps ago, and I've done the same again. I don't know how many laps down we are, my guess is probably 5. And Carlos Munoz, who is, I don't know how many seconds ahead of us. Not many. He has to make 2 pit stops, so I just have to make 1 more now. Same for Hinchcliffe in 23rd, who is, according to the timing at the top, 40 seconds ahead of us, and it's more than 40 seconds here for a lap time. Well, it's around about 40 seconds for a pit stop, so we may not finish last yet, but any chance of possibly a top 20 out the window. And the AI having very well behaved, which is a shame. Oh, and we've clipped the wall again.
11
Oh, it's just gone away now. That's...
Better come in for repairs.
Honestly, that's just me losing concentration. And at this point, we can all agree that I will be plumb last.
All done. Off you go.
And the car. Oh, come on. Oh, I might have to take that off because every time I make a pit stop, I'm losing out to that. So how many laps down are we now? I'm going to pause it and have a quick look. 158 for Jack Hawksworth. We're 7 laps down. Oh my god. So it's just a case now I've got 40 odd laps to go. I think my chances of finishing not last is pretty slim.
You're 7 laps down on the leader.
Yep, confirmed 7 laps down. We've lost 6 laps due to damage, unforced mistakes and pit stops. We're behind Gabby Chavez now. So we're literally a lap down to a guy ahead of us. I've hit the wall again, and I've got 6% on the front wing and 15 on the suspension as well. Oh, the car is pulling.
That's great pace. You're looking good out there.
This race is literally just, I don't know, the last 30 laps it's just completely gone.
Your pace is steady, but you'll need to push a bit harder to catch the field. Come on, you can do this. 3 flag. Better let them through.
Car is now handling quite badly.
Back. 1 lane behind. Half lane back. 2 wide, 1 inside. Is clear. Flag. You've got faster cars approaching, let them fight. He's 2 lanes back. He's in your slipstream. Still in your draft. Still drafting. 1 lane back. Inside. He's clear. Drafting behind. 2 lanes back.
Into that 160 vent. The car is handling quite badly at this point. You can see we're also down on power.
Blue flag, let them pass, don't lose any time over there. 1 ball. Clear now. The pace is dropping off a little bit. Try and refocus and bang in some quick laps. Good pass. Keep pushing. Two lanes behind. 1 lane behind.
Fully pit, end of 165 because I'm going to be about 9 laps down,
Your pace is steady, but you'll need to push harder to catch the pack.
so we can pit a little earlier to fix the damage, knowing that we won't hit the 200 lap mark. Yeah, it's been disappointing. 7 laps down, lost 2 laps at the start, and I've lost a further 4 laps with mistakes. A lap or 2 after the pit lane, running wide, coming out of 4. Oh my god. Need to make contact with him. There's an absolute queue of cars behind me waiting to lap me because I'm well off the pace now. Engine at 35% damage, front wing, right front suspensions will have taken a knock. Might just pit at the end of this, to be honest. I can do 25 laps easy, which would take me up to 188.
He's inside. He's clear.
Oh my god, the car is so bad.
One in your slipstream.
But I'll carry on because I'll be about 9 laps down at the end.
Still there. 1 length behind.
In fact, I'll do about 28 laps on these tyres, which will, if I pit now, will take me up to 192, and I will be about 8 laps down at the end. So we're going to pit the end of this lap for hopefully the final time, but we'll be in for quite a while. Got to lift off here, got a car coming through. Oh, I've clipped the wall again. I've got to move down. Sorry, I had to move down, and there's been an almighty pile up, and I've stalled. Oh, there's your Indy crash. And I think, oh my god, what has happened here? Oh, I'm sorry, people. Oh, it's all kicked off here. I'm not even going to be sorry for that. Shitload of people are going to have to pit in to fix damage in the car. It won't change our position, of course. But yeah, sorry, I clipped the wall and I had to get down low to get into the pits, and it isn't my fault there's a queue of cars behind me. I thought I saw a gap, but yeah, okay. There's your Indy 500 pile up, and we're going to be in the pits for quite a while here to fix damage.
flag, blue flag. One inside. Clear. Brilliant overtake. Nice one. Keep your weight back. One leg back. Got one low. He's clear. One low. He's clear. They're giving you the blue flag. Let them pass. 2 legs back. 1 leg back. Traffic you. 1 leg behind. 2 legs behind. Ace driving, 2 cars in 1 move. That's great pace, love your work. You're super consistent. Now just try and string together a few faster laps to catch the cars in front. Blue flag, better let them through. Two lanes behind. Watch your mirrors. Car inside. He's still inside. He's clear. Two lanes back. Inside. He's clear. He's 2 lanes back. flag. Don't raise these ones. Let them through. Better come in. It looks like you sustained suspension damage, so we need to have a look at it. Okay, you're